Good morning, friends of the internet. We are back again, and today I figured I would take a look at Spintires. It's been a long time since I did anything with Spintires, and since there's all sorts of new modded stuff, I'd like to try out a couple modded things today. So today we're going to do a couple testing. We're going to do a little bit of testing between, we're going to put two vehicles side by side and run them through a quick little course, kind of see what kind of modded trucks are out there. Kind of give my input on what I like and what I dislike about some of them, and see if we can find a couple of them that we can play around with. So let's just jump into this and see if we can get started. So first things first, I want to pick it on this one because this has a nice little testing area that I'd like to try out. Let's change it. Let's see. First of all, let's test this. Let's test one of these little guys. And we'll put it up against this little guy. So let's go ahead and start a new game. Yes. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so we've got two cool little things here. We got an ATV and we got, looks like an ATV, but it's more like a beefed up go-kart, it looks like. Let's see. Oh, we can add a cooler to it. Let's put a cooler on there. You never know when you need a cold Pepsi. A toolbox, some fuel cans. Wow. Let's see. Current is those. Oh, we can have some smoked. We can have, oh, let's go with the stock. Stock looks pretty good, doesn't it? All right, so let's go ahead, start this bad boy up and see what we got here, okay? Ooh. That sounds kind of strange. That's not what I was expecting out of that thing. Turn that brake off. Oh, yeah, that sounds way different. Okay, so let's see. It looks like it's always in four-wheel drive. No diff locks. I ain't going to put the diff locks on just yet. So let's just test it through this mud bog. See what it does. Ooh. Kind of struggles a bit. Here, let's put the diff locks on, see what we get. Let's go right here. This is a deep spot of mud. Let's see what it does here. Ooh. Kind of gets bogged down in there a little bit, doesn't it? Ooh. It's not happy there. It just can't contend with the big old rocks and stuff, I don't think, here. Oh. 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 Let's see. Okay, so does it have a winch? Let's see if we can winch it. Is there any place for me to winch it? It doesn't look like there's any place for me to winch it. Let's see. From here. Okay, let's do this. Oh, can I winch it out? Oh, I'm going to flip it on its side. Oh, engine stalled. That's all right. It flipped over. There we go. Okay, so let's start the engine again. Let's see if we can maybe back up and give it a little winch at the same time. There we go. All right, so it doesn't handle the deep mud so hot. So that's kind of a disappointment because there is a lot of deep mud on this. Oh, I'm still connected here. Hold on. Hold on. Let's get this off. There we go. So let's go test it in some water and let's see how it does here. It's probably not going to do so well just because it's like how small it is. Yeah, it gets into the dangerous water level pretty quick. But for the most part, it seems like it handles fairly well. I mean, you know, it's kind of got a rough little engine sound to it. Let's see how it does here. Not too bad. It handles it pretty decent. I think we were just kind of caught up on a rock or two there. Seems like it handles it somewhat decent. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. It's a little low, I think, for the water because there is some pretty deep water. Like, this ain't that big of a puddle, and we're already at, like, dangerous water levels. So I could see where that could be an issue. It's kind of narrow wheelbase, so I have a feeling that it would probably be likely to, like, flip over if it hits something a little too hard. But for the most part, I mean, it's a good little truck, it seems like. It seems like it gets the job done. Struggled in the mud a little bit, but being so light, I think it'll be easy to actually pull it out of a situation. So not too bad, not too bad. Let's try the little quad out. So it looks like we can add a tire. Oh, it doesn't look like we can add anything else. Okay, let's start it up. Wait, hold on. I don't know about you, but I've never owned a quad that sounded like that. That sounds a little too meaty, if you ask me. I do like the fact that there is a character on it, though, so that's a plus. It's not just some empty thing, and the model looks pretty good. He's got some goggles, a little helmet, and whatnot. Let's go ahead and take the brake off. Put all wheel on. Let's put the all diffs on. Oh, that is a throaty quad. I wish I had a quad that sounded like that. Listen to that thing. That's a throaty quad. All right, let's see what it can do. A little slow. That's interesting. Its character is very rigid. There's no movement to the character whatsoever. He is flat rigid. Look at him. He doesn't move. He doesn't wiggle. Nothing. That's kind of a disappointment since they do have the model to now in this game with the character with his hands moving and he bounces around the seat. So that's kind of a disappointment. Let's see how it does in the mud. Oh, it kind of struggles a bit, too. I think they're just so low profile. Like you can see, they're very difficult to get through this deeper mud. So I can see that could be a bit of an issue for both of these units. I don't like the fact that there's absolutely no movement to the character. I wish there was some movement to him. Let's see if I can maybe hook that front tire. No, it doesn't seem like it. So this looks like it's pretty much the same situation as the little one was. Just not quite sturdy enough to get through some of these mud situations. So we'll do the same thing. We'll winch it up the same spot. There we go. Let's go ahead and disconnect that. Let's see how it does in the water, though. Yeah, I don't like the fact that the character's like doesn't move around. It kind of hits that low level too. Seems to go good here. I think that deep mud was kind of a challenge for both of these, being that they're smaller vehicles. But for the most part, this thing just gets right along and goes. I mean, look at that. Like, but look at the character. He's so rigid looking. Look at it. Oh. Yeah, it kind of gets out of control, but very interesting. Very, very interesting. I would have liked to seen this model of this character kind of bounce around a little bit with the ATV. He looks just a bit rigid. But for the most part, it seems to travel well. Got some good suspension mechanics on it and everything. It seems fairly nice. But it's to be expected out of that little all-terrain vehicle, and then this ATV here is too deep of mud, it just ain't going to handle it. I mean, it's just, that's the way it goes with these smaller ones. But for the most part, you can see that they're handling most of the terrain fairly well. So they seem like they can handle situations. Like I said, a little disappointed on that character. Um, other than that, it's a nice looking model. I definitely like the looks of it. The only thing I could say is I wish there's a little more animation to, cause see, like, see, there's no animation to the handlebars. Like, those are some magic wheels there. The wheels turn, but the handlebar doesn't. I'd like to see the handlebars turn with the steering wheel, and it basically looks like a little kid's toy that you'd find, like a little remote controlled RC car. So that you'd find at Toys R Us, because there's no movement to the character whatsoever. Very rigid, not very realistic. So kind of a disappointment there. The model itself for the ATV, very nice. Little throaty on the engine. Sounds a little rough. I've never had an ATV sound like that. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and go back to the main menu here. Yes. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pick a couple more. We're going to pick this one again, the river. Let's pick a couple different vehicles to test. Let's see. Now, since I showed you those two, I'll show you a couple that I do really like. Two models that I really like. We've got a lot to choose from here. But we're going to do these later down the road. I wanted to kind of show you two of them that was okay, decent, but I'd like to show you two that I think is the top of the scale for me anyways. Let's go this Jeep here. And we're going to go this Jeep here. Start a new game, yes. All right. So let's look at this. We're going to take some Pepsi with us. Put that in the front seat. We got these current wheels on there, but we want something a little more rugged. So those, I like these better. These are the ones that I really like right here, okay? Let's go ahead and start engine. Very nice sound to this Jeep. That sounds like the way a Jeep should sound. That's not what a quad should sound like, but a Jeep sounds pretty good. I love the model. Great looking model. Like, look at that. Just all around a very good looking model. Now, I'm going to show you why I like this one here. This has been my new favorite right here. So we're just going to go out here and really put it through its testing nonstop. Let's go to the deep part of the mud. Watch this thing. Diffs are on, four-wheel drive's on. Look at this. We get it locked down into the mud, and look what this thing does. This thing just crawls out of it. No problem. Water, no problem. Rocks, no problem. Like, I just love this model. The only part that I can, if I had any complaint about this one right here, is that there is absolutely no driver. That's the only bad part. But for everything else about this thing, being that it handles the water so well, like, I haven't found anything yet that has really slowed this thing down. I actually took it out and played with it and just kind of went jumping around on one of the maps, just unlocking areas. Look at this. I mean, it just keeps trudging on. Nothing slows this thing down. Like, look at this. It just keeps trudging on. And I really like how this thing handles. The momentum's good. The gear shifts are good. Like, everything in this thing. Look, it gets in some mud. It just powers through it. Like, there's nothing that I've seen that really slow this thing down. Like, let's just go sideways and come right up out over this. Just climbs right out, and let's go right over these heavy rocks right here. No problem. Like, you can see that this model right here, I really enjoy. This is one of the best ones I think I've found so far. Let's kind of see what it does here. Let's see if I can even climb this. Let's see. It wants to, but those rocks, that lip's just a little too hard. But you can see it doesn't really dig in. It doesn't really just like get stuck really simple. But you can see it really wants to try to climb this. But reverse, I mean, it doesn't matter. This thing trudges along like it does not matter. Like you can see that this thing just digs in and goes. I love how this Jeep works in this thing. Look at this. Doesn't matter if it's forward, backwards, it just keeps trudging. I need to spin around. I need to get going again this way. Doesn't matter. This thing just motors on. Like I haven't found anything yet to slow this thing down. Look at this. Just plows through. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love this one. Like I said, I went into a map and I drove this thing around and I unlocked everything on the map and had no issues. None. Suspension works well. It doesn't seem to take damage at all, really bad or really easy. The water doesn't seem to slow it down with the depth of it. Mud depth doesn't seem to really bother it either. I mean, we'll go back up here through this heavy mud again. Look at this. Watch. I'll even stop. Let's dig it in a bit. Let's just like just bury this thing. Okay, we got that sucker buried in there pretty good. Now watch. Just drive it out. Just flat drive it out. Like no problem. So, if anything, this is probably out of all of them that I have tested so far, by far my favorite. It seems to just get the job done. Let's see, this is some pretty deep water. Let's put it through here. See? No problem. No dangerous water levels, nothing. It just motors along. Back through the thick mud. I mean, just a great little trail buster. So I might have to do a series where we just go and do some trail riding with this thing because I really enjoy it. I love the looks of the model. Just overall, a great one. Whoever designed this, like 2 thumbs up here. I really enjoy this one. Let's go ahead and shut this one off. Let's go ahead and change trucks. Let's jump into this one. Now, this one, on the other hand, we can add all sorts of stuff on it. We can add some tools. We can add some stuff. Little Yeti toolbox, cage mounted, some sleeping bags. We got all our gear that we need. We got a couple little tires that are default tires. And we also have these tires. So it looks like more lift, more grip. Let's go this one. Let's start this bad boy up. Now, the one thing I do like about this one is you can see we do have the model in there. We do have the character in there, which is kind of nice. The thing I saw that I thought was funny on this one, I'll show you here in a second. Parking brake off. Let's go like this. Is I went like this the other day. Watch this. This is pretty funny. I put it in this low gear or this high gear. Watch. I'm humping my steering wheel. Look at him. Watch, he'll fall over in the back of the seat too sometimes. So I just thought it was hilarious when he did that. Okay, so let's put this in low, put it in its paces. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, we're in low. You can hear the sound of it. Pretty nice sound to it. This one sets a little low, but look how baller it gets through the mud. Like, look at this. It like really like gets like out of control and the guy bounces around in the seat, but you can see we get stuck fairly easy. Again, we're like that low profile. We're kind of stuck in that mud. So you got to kind of like low throttle it out to get out of it, because this thing does have a lot of power. Because watch once we really open this thing up, how it bounces around. Look at this. And see the damage it takes? But you can really, if you just want to get ballsy and just like run the piss out of it, look at that. And the guy bounces around. This is what I'd like to see on that ATV model, is a guy bouncing around on the quad a bit. But you can see it's like more for just raw power. You really gotta throw it. You gotta like throw it down into low throttle when you want to get through stuff. But like mud bogging through this, look at this. This is just a blast. I love this one for this. So this is like the balance between the two. I think the all around the other Jeep is way better, just for like, you know, trail busting and having fun. I think this one here just for flat shredding stuff up. Like look how much, like how violent this thing looks with the suspension going through stuff, through water, over the humps, the way the guy bounces around in the seat to really give you that feel of like it's a bumpy ass ride, but you're just giving it just the full horsepower. Absolutely love it. Look at this thing. But like I said, you can get in the mud, you can get stuck because of the sheer power of it. Because look, the tires spin very aggressively. I was able to power my way through that, but if we go into that other deep mud, you can see it really, really slows us down. But like, look how violent it looks. I love it. So this is when you just want to just rip and tear it. Look at that thing. Look at it get kicked sideways. That's so awesome. Really like this model too. This is probably my second favorite one here. But see, if we get into this mud, we can find ourselves kind of stuck here. And you can see it just doesn't really want to go. So you got to kind of get out of that throttle a little bit. And you can see you just got to ease that throttle because there's so much horsepower in this thing. And then since I got out, I gave it a full amount of throttle to really power out of it. And then I throttled back right there. So you got to kind of play with it. I like the mechanics of the way it will get stuck. It can't just, you know, handle everything like the other one can. But by far, these two right here are my two favorite ones of all. I absolutely love these things. Go ahead and shut this off. So yeah, by far, those are the best two models I found so far that I really enjoy. I like the looks of both of them. I wish the one model actually had a driver in it, you know, just like this guy over here does. I like the fact that he bounces around. I would like to see an ATV with it too. But for the most part, I enjoy both of these. For all around, just hammer, mud throwing, bouncing around, I really enjoy this model here. This one just for all around trail, not worrying about getting stuck or really worried about it too much. I haven't had a problem with that one, the red one, flipping over at all. I imagine if you put it in a situation, it probably could. So, but for the most part, those are my favorite two models right there. I absolutely love these two. I think they're just good all around models. And, oh, is this guy drinking beer while he's driving? That's not too safe, pal. So, with that being said though, guys, I think I'm going to end this episode. Like I said, I'm going to do a couple series of these, just to kind of show some of the mods, some of the vehicles that are out there, the ones that I like and dislike. And kind of just let you see them before you have to go out there and try them out for yourself. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, follow us on Twitter. That way you know when we're posting new YouTube content and we're live streaming. If you haven't checked us out on Twitch or YouTube Gaming, come hang out, be part of the audience. If you're new to those channels, smash those follow buttons. So until next time, guys, we'll see all your faces later. Thanks so much, guys, for checking out my video. If you enjoyed that video, hit that thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe for future videos.